How we doing? As we all know, I'm uh I'm doing that thing where I look at hundreds of EVs on a Tuesday night. Yep, it's a Tuesday night, and we're gonna hope that one of them shines. I have just crossed 5,000 encounters. God willing, I've done at least half of the work toward this shiny. God willing, I've done more of it. Hopefully, I get it this stream, but can't always get what you want. But I'm just hoping for a little luck. Maybe we'll get one more shiny that's under odds before we get like an actual bad one. I'm hoping it's this one because these resets are the longest. I hope we get no bad ones, but this EV is getting pretty close. If it goes a few thousand more encounters, we're definitely gonna start getting into that territory. But yeah, hopefully it happens soon. If not tonight, maybe tomorrow. If not tomorrow, hopefully the day after. But you know, you never really know with this kind of stuff. But yeah, I've said enough. I think it's time to do some encounters. So let's do that. I'm gonna pull up my counter. Boom. I'm gonna get my speed up working. I'm gonna get this ho-oh off of the screen. And starting from 5,000 encounters, we go until EV shines or until I get tired of doing encounters tonight. And we're doing this. And I've already messed up the second encounter. Nice. Look at that. Off to a great start. What's up, Overlord? Caught stream at a very early time. Nice. I'm streaming probably one of the most normal times, though, that I have in the last few days, to be fair, so that's fair enough. What do you think, Overlord? Is this going to be the stream? You think Eevee's going to pop up the stream, the shiny one? I have a small feeling, but I've had that small feeling for the last couple streams, so I don't think it's very accurate. Also, I am going to preface, in about 32 minutes, I do need to do some laundry. Like, I need to fold laundry, which might take upwards of 10 to 15 minutes. So I'm going to take a brief break when that comes along. But after that, we're good to go. You think Eevee's going to show up the stream? I really hope so. I really hope so. I want to continue playing the game. But we're still under odds, unfortunately, so the odds of not getting one is also pretty high. But who knows? Sometimes you just need that one fateful encounter. That's all it takes. God, I'm watching a video that's just pure rage bait. It's about a subreddit that literally just hates on dog ownership. I don't even own a dog, but like they talk about fucking dogs like in such a disgusting manner. It's like making me mad, but it's also like really interesting. I don't know why I needed to share that, but just finding something to talk about. I mean, we're looking at the same dog pop up on screen multiple times, and as far as I'm concerned, until it's shiny, it's a disgusting animal to me. So okay, that's a little mean. I mean, I'm pretty sure it is. I believe it's a dog from last time I checked. That actually, this might be something worth searching up. Hold on. Give me one moment. Is Eevee a dog? Eevee's not strictly a dog, but rather a fictional creature designed to look like a mixture of a fox, Jesus Christ. Fox, cat, and a dog, often likened to a fennec fox. Okay, so it's closer to a fox. Okay. But it says that it can be a dog. I think, here's the thing. Its evolutions are very confusing because some look like a dog and some look like a cat. Cat, fox, dog thing. It is a beautiful baby. Oh, you're a new chatter. What's up, Roxanne? How we doing? Oh my god, I actually just can't select the Eevee to save my life. There we go. Yeah, Eevee's cool. It'd be even cooler if it shined. Oh, what's up, Alex? How we doing? As I was saying at the beginning of the stream, I'm feeling decent about this stream, but I've been feeling decent about the last couple of streams, hoping the Eevee would pop up and nothing happened, so I really don't know anymore. It's really just about luck. And that's our first 25 of the stream. Flareon, Jolteon, Umbreon are more dog to me. Yeah, I think Vaporeon is like more cat-like. I think Espeon's also more cat-like. Sylveon, I don't even know. Like, Sylveon still seems like a very weird mixture of, like, all three animals. Yeah. Yeah, I was just saying the same thing. Oh, yeah, Glaceon and Leafeon. Yeah, those are probably more cat-like as well. I can't I chose the stupid Golbat on accident. Sorry, the Golbat's not stupid. It's just, I got a little upset in that moment. I think my favorite evolution is probably... It's between a couple. I like Vaporeon. I think Sylveon is my favorite. I like Sylveon a lot. I think it's pretty cool. Its shiny is also great. Great shiny. Obviously, if I could get Sylveon in this game, I would, but Fairy type didn't come out until Gen 6. Henceforth, Sylveon didn't come out until Gen 6. Pokemon hates Glaceon. Yeah, they didn't really give Glaceon a lot of justice in many respects. Like in Gen 4, like it takes forever to even get a Glaceon. Shiny also is like really bad. It's not really good in battle. Like I don't even know why they made it. Like it's just like it's a cool mon, but they just like disrespected it so hard in a lot of ways. Well, I will say this about Espeon, because you haven't been here for the previous streams. The way I'm determining what I evolve this Eevee into for this playthrough is if this hunt goes under odds, it's going to be an Umbreon. But if it goes over odds, it'll be an Espeon. Because I wanted either one of them, and I wanted to figure out a way to choose. So that's the method that I'm going by. If it's under odds, we're doing Umbreon. If it's over odds, we're doing Espeon. I think people crap on shiny Espeon too much. It's not that bad. Like, I think people immediately will just kind of put the big X over, like, green shinies. But there are some good ones out there, and I think Espeon is one of them. Yeah. My Bayleaf has been staring at the left wall for the last several hours. It's like, get me out of here, Papa. Best shiny in general, but gotta be Zoroark. That's not even a bad take. It's like blue and black-ish, right? Jolteon and Flareon are also really good. I like... Oh, yeah, How did I forget about Jolteon? I love Jolteon. Eevee in itself is kind of weak, unless you're playing Let's Go Eevee. But its evolutions are pretty good. Do I think Eevee will get a new evolution? Probably not. I don't think so. I wish they would. I just don't think they're going to. Because I think there's so much room. Oh, it is purple. Yeah, I forgot. I was thinking of Zorua, because isn't Zorua's blue? I don't think they're gonna do a new evolution, unfortunately. There's so many good ones they could do. Like, I feel like they should have added a fighting type one. I think they should have given an evolution by level up where it just evolved into a better normal type. Like, I think there was so much cool things they could have done with so many other evolutions that they just never capitalized on. Yeah, Zoroark is blue. Yeah, because I remember Zoroark is purple now. Yeah. I think. Oh, bet. Yeah. Try to add them on Discord and invite them to the group chat. Yeah, a Dragon Eevee would be sick, wouldn't it? Again, there's so much potential. And the thing is, you could probably make up an evolution method for all of them, like give it a dragon scale or something. That could be so sick. The last evolution, the most recent one in Gen 6. They don't show it in Gen 6, Gen 9, not even in Pokemon Legends. Yeah, it's so strange, because I love Sylveon. Sylveon deserves respect. Sylveon's goated. Umbreon and Sylveon are probably my two favorite. Actually, no, not Umbreon. Vaporeon. Umbreon's really cool. I think design-wise it's cool. But I have so much trauma from it in freaking PvP. Alright. 50-50. It's an interesting number. Dragon Eevee, make it a pseudo-legend? Nah, I think we need to stop making dragon-type pseudo-legendaries. I think we need more dragon types that are not pseudo-legendaries. And also, I think we need more pseudo-legendaries that aren't dragon types. I also don't want to be pushy with the whole Discord thing. If you don't wanna join the Discord quite yet. Well, I mean, I don't have a Discord server. It's just like a little mini group chat I have with these two since they join the streams a lot. I don't want to be too pushy with the whole Discord stuff. It's up to you. Chill out on the pinging, Alex. I don't want to be, like I said, I don't want to be too pushy. If they don't want to join the Discord, they don't want to join the Discord. It's all good. It's up to them. Yeah, Eeveelution's had so much potential. I feel like to go, like, I think Eevee could have been one of, like, the first mon that could literally evolve into practically any type. Maybe Steel Pseudo Legendary? I mean, we do have Metagross. I feel like they could have, like, Pseudo Legendaries, I feel like shouldn't be limited to a type. I don't know why it always has to be a dragon type, though, except for the exception of Metagross. Like, Metagross is, like, practically the only exception to that. It's like they branched out for one gen, and then they were like, nope, just all fucking dragons. Which they're cool dragons, but I think, you know, we could do with a couple more pseudos that aren't just dragons. Like I think we have enough, in my opinion. You know what a kitsune is? Yes, I do. Are there any Pokemon that are based on a kitsune? Sorry, I zoned out for a little. I was thinking about my laundry, because I'm going to have to do it in like 15 minutes. Because I know they have a Pokemon based on, like, foxes. I'm not sure about specifically kitsunes. Hear me out, Eevee Kitsune Mega. I'm not sure about that. I think the last thing that need megas are Eevee and Pikachu. Those are like the last two mons. They already have a bunch of. They get enough love from Game Freak, and have alternate forms anyways. Pikachu even gets an item that basically makes it as good, maybe even debatably better than Raichu. Fucking light bulb. It also has a Gigantamax form. Oh, for Espeon? I'm not sure if they should give any of the evolutions megas, just because I feel like if they give one a mega, I feel like they'd have to give all of them a mega. Oops. The new megas from Legends EA, I think more of them were misses than there were hits. Like, I think I think they could have done better with some of the designs. Like, I think Chandelure had more potential. I think how Lucha's was really good though. Like, they definitely had some bangers. Like, how Lucha's was very good. Victory Bells was so goofy, and it's so bad that I like it. It's like a weird concept. Dragonites I actually do like. That one's a controversial one. I actually do like Dragonites Mega. I think that one's good. Starmie's was horrific. I don't even know. I don't know who approved Starmie. Like, why did they allow that? Like, that was tragic. Yeah, Mega Starmie is horrific. They just gave it longer legs. It's not even ugly. It's just like it's just so nothing. Like they barely changed it. I think it's so stupid. Vomit is crazy. Am I doing till 6,000? Probably not in one stream. uh, I'll see. I'll see where I get to. 5,500 seems like the natural landing spot. If I want to do more, I'll do more, but that's about where I'm at mentally. Oops, not intentional. Oops. Getting close to our first 100 of the stream though, not too bad. Alright, we are 5,100. $5,100. Look at that. Have I seen Yu-Gi-Oh? I know about Yu-Gi-Oh, but I have not watched the show or played the game. The only thing I know is like the meme, like, you've activated my trap card or whatever. This lets me draw 3 more cards. Or something like that. Okay. I have not watched the show though. Oh man, starting to get fatigued. It's like when a professional eater is like eating the same food over and over again for like hours at a time, trying to eat like a fucking like mountain's worth of food, and they're like getting toward the bottom, and they get like flavor fatigue. I'm getting EV fatigue right now. I've seen so many normal EVs on my screen, like I'm about ready to be like, oh my god, just give me the fucking shiny already. It'd be something to be excited about. I know I'm still under odds, but like, damn. It would be nice. It would be nice if the game threw me a little bone. Hold on. I'm gonna do this one EV. I'm not gonna look at my screen so I can be a little surprised. I'm gonna go check on my laundry to see if it's done, and then I will come back and let you know if it's done. Because I'm stupid. Okay. I'm not looking at my screen. After I show the EV, I'm gonna mute. I'm gonna go check on my laundry. All right. I'm not looking. All right, I'm back. I'm gonna give my also not shiny by the way. I'm gonna give my laundry like another 15 or so minutes because my mom checked on it and said that it wasn't dry yet. So. All right. All right. Let me get my counter back up and let's continue. And I will probably have to dip again in another like 15 or so minutes. Sorry about that. I gotta get my laundry done because I don't want to leave it in the dryer for too long and then it gets wrinkled and stuff. All right. Oh, that was unintentional. Oh, god damn it. Evie, why do you keep evading me? In multiple ways. I need to switch YouTube videos because this one sucks. No, I'm kidding. But I'm just not in the mood for that one right now. Hold on, sorry, this is taking a minute. My homepage is so fried. No good videos on it anymore. You might know an anime character that's stronger than the anti-spiral? What? Sorry, I literally just can't find a video that I want to watch. You know what? Let's watch this one. Alright, I got one. Try that, take a minute. Gilgamesh? That's an anime character from what anime? I know the Epic of Gilgamesh, like as like the book. And I know Gilgamesh in that book was a really strong half god, half like human dude, but I don't know about the anime that's inspired off of that. It's from Fate anime. Okay. Never heard of that anime. Maybe I'm just living under a rock. I don't know. Is that like popular? I don't know. It's not that popular. Okay. Just need to make sure I wasn't like living under a rock or something. Yeah, I'm gonna actually no, I got more time than that. Never mind. Yeah, go for it. If that his powers, I'm curious. Was I 5150? What's up, Alex? Dimension full of magical weapons. So he's like Green Lantern, except he doesn't really need to use like the fucking ring or anything. He just has them at his disposal without having to like really do anything. That's kind of cool. Sorry, is that a weird analogy? I'm not sure. I haven't watched the show, so I'm not sure if what I said just was insulting or not. The weakest can destroy a galaxy. God damn. Well, that's the weakest. I mean, granted, Anti-Spiral is still stronger than that because Anti-Spiral was like basically using galaxies as his weapons. Alright, I'm gonna do one more count. I'm gonna go check on my laundry once more. It should be dry by now. Alright, I'm gonna do the same thing with this UV. I'm not gonna look. I'm gonna put it up on screen. You're gonna see if it's shiny. I'm not gonna look, so I'm not gonna know until I come back. Alright, I'll be right back. Alright, sorry about that. I don't even know how long I was going for. I was going for a bit, though. I've done my laundry, though. And, I'm ready to, keep going until we get to 5,500. I don't need to take any more breaks. Other than maybe like a brief bathroom break or a water break at some point, but that'll literally take 1 minute if I need to do that. Otherwise, we're good. Not gonna be that bad anymore. Sorry about that, but we're good now. I'm back. Sorry for not being here. Let's go. I think that was a universal experience, to be honest. Yeah, some anime superpowers are freaking weird. Like, unnecessarily overpowered. Hmm. He's a god chain. That's so interesting. Yeah, it's that guy's got it, bro. Actually, just overpowered. You don't even need plot armor at that point. Getting close to 5,200 though. Getting there. He's the strongest character in that anime? I mean, I'd fucking hope so. It'd be crazy if he wasn't. I have a feeling because I'm gonna do Ho-Oh. I feel like when I do Ho-Oh, I'm gonna fall into the habit of freaking just looking at my YouTube on one screen and just spamming X and then spamming Z, even though literally all I need to do for Ho-Oh is just spam X, look if it's shiny, and soft reset. Like, but this is a lot more steps, and I feel like I'm gonna I'm gonna kick back into this mode when I start to hunt Ho-Oh, which would be kind of funny. There's always a subconscious part in your brain when you do these hunts, right? Where it's like, because you're training your brain it kind of in a weird way where you're looking at the same thing over and over again. There's a small part of your brain that's like trying to convince you that maybe you can't get it as a shiny. Because you've seen it over 5,000 times and it hasn't shined. It like starts to feel impossible in your brain that it could ever be shiny, even though you logically know that's not the case. I don't know how to describe that. Very weird. Alright, my mom was talking to me. We're good. Oops. If you ever randomly go on mute like that, it's probably because my mom's talking to me. And with this next EV, we will be exactly 3,000 encounters away from full odds. Getting up there, I'm telling you. Didn't take super long. Alright, almost at 5,200. Alright, and this would be the 5,200th EV. It's also not the shiny. $5,200 EVs that have been abandoned? Yes. I need a shiny one. I'm sorry. Maybe I wouldn't have had to abandon them if they would shine sooner. Here's to another 1,000 EVs to be abandoned, probably. To be fair, all the EVs I've quote-unquote abandoned don't know that they've been abandoned. Because technically this is like going back in time. Like, Bill thinks he's talking to me for the first time every single time. No, they're not rotting, don't worry, they don't know. They don't actually exist, technically, because I'm regenerating a new one every time. The only person that knows how many EVs have been thrown into the RNG abyss is me. And you guys, I guess. this Charmander in the rain. Well, technically speaking, if this was a logical thing, there's not a lot of shiny. I think the most life-threatening shiny hunting method would be hatching eggs or Masuda method. Because you're releasing babies into the wild every time you need to clear out box space, which obviously they're probably going to die out there. But with soft resetting, it actually is like the least harmful because you're just going back in time in the grand scheme of things. And wild Pokemon, well, they're already in the wild anyway, so running away from them is not changing their situation. Yeah, if you logically think about it, egg hunting technically, yeah, it's pretty fucked up. You're breeding a bunch of babies until one is, you know, either the right stats or shiny or whatever, and then you just throw them all out into the wild to be, you know, eaten by the much stronger wild Pokemon. Eating a fresh veggie salad, that's nice. Okay, actually, okay, I hate to do this. This is gonna be the last break, and it won't be long, I promise. But I do need to use the bathroom. It's gonna take like two minutes. I won't be that long. Alright, I'm gonna do the EV thing again. Sorry, this should be the last break of the stream. I apologize. Okay, I'm back. See? Wasn't too long. What I can promise is I'm not gonna need to take another break. Unless some crazy ass emergency happens, which, again, very unlikely. But I have water. I just peed. Like, I'll be fine. Alrighty. Enough of that. Oh my god. I never send a gambler to quit before they hit big. Well, lucky for me, I don't quit. You think I'm gonna quit after 5,000 resets? That would be the biggest waste of time in history. I think I've spent a day's worth already just shiny hunting on this game. Probably just for Eevee alone. I'm not exactly sure if that's accurate, but probably is close at this point. I do probably 5 hours of hunting roughly every day for the last 3 days. That's already 15 hours. Yeah, unironically, I probably hit about 24 hours of just resetting for EVs. Like, non-stop resetting for EVs. Which is wild to think about. That's a whole day's worth of time. I've spent the day of my life doing this. Which I don't like to think about too hard. But on the bright side, if you really think about it, it's not the biggest waste of time. Eventually, I will get the shiny EV, and I've also been talking to chat, and I've also been watching YouTube videos, which, I mean, spending a day's worth of watching YouTube videos, I guess, while is also not the most productive, is, you know, could be worse. Like, at least I didn't spend it literally doing nothing. At least I had other stuff I was doing on the side. And again, there is a purpose to this. Oh, man. Shit does get fatiguing. Honestly, time is too short. What do you mean by that? Sorry, I read that earlier, and I was like trying to process what it meant, and then I like zoned out, and then I reread it. So I responded quite late. That's not stream delay. Oh, sorry, Bill. Time goes too fast is what I meant. It goes by faster the older you get. There's actually a funny psychological reasoning behind that. Sorry, this could be a really random rant, but I'm gonna do it anyways because I have nothing else to talk about. Apparently, there's psychological reason behind why time seems to move fast the older you age. When you were a kid, time felt really slow because you were experiencing new things. And your brain, when it's trying to process new things or new experiences, for some reason time feels like as if it's moving slower in that moment. But when you're doing the same thing over and over again every day, when, you know, which most people do because they have like a daily routine and, you know, the same shit to do usually most days, like either school or work or whatever. It's like in your head, because your brain is really good at pattern recognition, it will kind of just mesh those days together. And it'll, even though like you'll feel the days individually go by, when you try to reflect on last week or whatever, it won't really feel like 7 individual days. It'll just feel like a big clump of like a long time, but not like 7 days worth of time because it was all the same stuff. So your brain will perceive that time differently versus if you were like, you know, if you had a really eventful week where you're doing a bunch of different things. So I guess moral of the story is, you know, try to do as many new things as possible so that life doesn't go by as fast. But I'm not even the best practicer of that advice, so what do I know? Sorry, really random rant, but it's just something I remembered, and it was somewhat on topic. Also, we've passed the halfway point of encounters for this stream. Yeah, again, it's like, it's that whole thing with my fucking brain. It's like, it's getting to a point where, like, I'm starting to, like, unconvince myself that this is possible. Even though I know it is. Like, obviously I know it's possible, like, logically. It's just, like, when your brain sees the same thing over 5,000 times, it's like, there's always the smallest part of your brain that's like, oh, what if it's not possible? But obviously it's possible. I've seen several hunts on the same exact thing. I'm not doing anything wrong. 10,000 EVs later, I better not be here for 10,000 more EVs. Although it is possible. Statistically, you are about 88% likely to have seen a shiny. About 88, not exactly, but about 88% likely to have seen a shiny after double, on or before double odds. That's still over a 10% chance that one of these hunts is gonna get to 16,000 plus encounters. I really hope it's not this easy. I desperately hope it's not this easy. If any of these hunts get there, it better not be this easy. Like 9k would be tolerable, 10k would be tolerable. Obviously, I'll be here, you know, doing it if it gets to 16k, right? Like, I'm not gonna know if it's gonna get to 16k until I, you know, fucking do it. And at that point, when I've gone past 10k, there's literally 0 point in stopping. There's already 0 point in stopping now, anyways. This thing could take 30k encounters, and I'm gonna keep going until I get it at this point to make sure I don't waste my time. But I can't say it won't be absolutely miserable. Yeah, no. I was thinking about this before stream, and I was like, this hunt really could go that long. If you think about it, like, it's not impossible. Like, there's a 1% chance that, there's quite literally a 1% chance, a 1 in 100 chance that this hunt could go to 40k. You're 99% likely to see a shiny by the time you get to 14k encounters. Which is... And I'm not saying that as like a random, like 99.9% of bacteria type of thing. Like, no, like statistically speaking, at about 40,000 encounters, you are 99% likely to have seen a shiny at that point. There is a 1 in 100 chance this Eevee will take me 35,000 more encounters. Not just 35,000. 35,000 would already be preposterous. And I was scrolling through YouTube, and I think the worst luck I've seen on this hunt was about 35,000 soft resets. But most people were within like some people got really lucky and got it like 250 or like a couple thousand, but a lot of the ones I saw were between like 5,000 and 9,000. So within that range at least. And again, even though there is a chance that it could go to double odds, you have to think about how likely it is that I will get the shiny before that. Like, by the time I hit odds, it will already have been a 60% chance to have seen the shiny. And by the time it gets to, if it gets to 12,000 or 13,000, I'll have been like 70 or 80% likely, I think. And even though there's a 20-30% chance that wouldn't be the case, like 70 or 80% chance is pretty fucking good odds. Like, but yeah, thinking about the odds is not a good way to go about these hunts, though. I unfortunately dipped my toes too deep into that thought process. Just imagine, though here's the one pro about this EV going, you know, pretty long. Imagine how sweet it's gonna be when I finally get it. Because even right now, it's really not as bad as it could be. I'm still under odds. I'm still under the median, which is like, if I get to 5,680-ish encounters, that's when I've passed the point where I was 50% likely to have seen the shiny up until then. So I'm still technically not fully unlucky yet. I'm getting close to coin flip odds, but I'm not quite there yet. Getting close to 5,300. Yeah, immediately my demeanor is freaking died down. This always happens. Every time I get past like the halfway point of a stream, I'm like, I already get into the mindset of it's not gonna happen. Which is kind of good and bad, because if it does happen, it would catch me off guard and it would lead to an even bigger reaction, which would make for a better clip, but it's not good for my well-being. $5,300. There we go. 200 left, and I'm gonna call it a stream. I said I would be able to go past 5,500. I am already 200 before then, and I'm not really feeling it, unless I catch some crazy second wind. But yeah, I think I'm just gonna go to 5,500 and call it. Just stick with the usual clean 1,000 of the day. I'm bringing it into the 6,000s tomorrow, which, you know, the numbers get more and more promising by the day, that's for sure. Once we get to the 7,000s and 8,000s, those are the days where I feel like the morale is going to be a little higher, because the odds of it showing up then are, you know, pretty decent. Granted, it's still 1A192 per encounter, but the more trials you do, obviously, technically the closer you will get, or the more likely you will get to get a success. It's like if you roll a dice one time hoping for a 6, versus if you roll it 7 times hoping for a 6. Obviously, each trial is independent. It doesn't know what you rolled the last time, but obviously the more times you roll it, the more likely you will be to get it. Sorry for the math lesson, but and it's more the statistics lesson, which is math, but. Oops, 11. There we go. It really does feel endless at a certain point. I feel like my brain is melting and coming out of my ears, dude. So bad. Alright, well, somebody has to switch YouTube videos again, so give me 2 seconds. Alright. I'm now watching a video on people who got 2 full odds shinies in a row. 1 in 67 million chance, by the way, for that to happen. That's like literal lottery ticket level luck. Like literal lottery ticket level luck. I'm realizing that Hoenn has such good shinies. For the most part. Alright, 176 left, and we're gonna call it a stream. And we're just one step closer to the EV. We don't get it, as opposed to actually getting it. Yeah, it was a good movie. I watched it too. I never saw Pokemon in the advanced generation of Diamond and Pearl anime, mostly season 1. Cool. Five, 3, 3, 5. It's another one of those numbers. It's the same forward and backwards. Yeah, there's been plenty of those that I've just ignored. I like pointing them out when my brain's a little bit more activated for them. I can't wait until my starter fully evolves, because Shiny Meganium is a pretty nice shiny. I'd put it up on screen if I was just playing through the game, but I'm trying to get through these resets kind of fast, so I'm not going to waste any more time than I already have this stream. So many EVs, dude. Countless. Well, not countless, because I did count them. Might have been ever so slightly off, maybe. But my count is probably pretty accurate. Probably at least down to the tens place, if it's not exactly right. Or at least within 10, I'd hope. $53.50. $150 away. Two. $53. I'm not about to end. I mean, I'm going up to 50. I think I'm gonna go up to 5,500 and then call it there. I'm definitely more than halfway done with the stream, but I'm not like about to end. Why, do you have somewhere to be? If you do, it's fine. Creeping our way up to 5,400, which I think, if I'm doing my math correctly, yeah, by the end of the stream, we will be 2/3 of the way to shiny odds, because I encounter about like 5,461 or so. That'll be 2/3 of the way to full odds. We're getting there. Definitely getting there. We're about 100 away from that point, actually. Looking for yet another video. Sure, let's try this one. Sorry, I just took a nice hefty sip of water. $53, $67. I grow tired by the minute. I grow more bored of brown EVs. Sorry, not to be racist or anything, but I would really like a white EV. Sorry, that was probably a shitty joke. I meant no offense. So many freaking ads, dude. I forgot to do that whole like ad blocker thing or whatever. I should get an ad blocker. Oh. Getting close to 5,400. Oh god. I think every time a hundreds place ticks up, I lose a mild amount of my sanity. And every time a thousands place ticks up, it gets a little crazy. Best believe we're gonna get to 6,500 by the end of tomorrow, or God, I mean, I'm not sure, because sometimes things pop up. So hopefully we'll at least get to 6,000 though. But like, assuming my day just works as normal as it usually does, I should get to 6,500. But you know, if things come up where I make plans or whatever, then maybe not. But I guess we'll see. I won't make any promises until we get there, because it always bites me in the ass. Sorry, I'm not talking a lot. As the night goes on, I get a little bit more tired. Chat slows down a little bit, which is normal. Kind of run out of things to say. So it kind of just turns into me doing resets. Interrupted by me occasionally shouting out how many encounters I'm doing. how many more encounters I'm doing and the sounds of my keyboard, which I'm sure is pretty boring, so I apologize for that, but I can only fill the silence so creatively for so long. Yeah, I apologize for that. And once I hit like the last 100 encounters, I get so confident that it's just not gonna shine this stream. Even though that's not how that works. Because it easily could. It's equally likely to shine every single encounter. Now I can say that I'm getting close to like ending, I guess, because I'm less than 100 encounters away from what I'm gonna say the end of the stream. But I mean, that's still like, you know, a decent bit of time. I'm probably gonna be here for like, I get about like another 30 minutes, maybe slightly less. Shiny hunting is like the most humbling thing known to man, dude. Like, you'll wake up the next day being like, you know what, today really could be the day, and then you'll do 1,000 encounters, and then you realize, damn, it wasn't the day. One of the days it actually will be the day. I'm holding out for that. You gotta be optimistic, because, you know, the day will eventually come. There's no telling when it will come. Alright, 80 left, and we're gonna call it a stream. Unless the Eevee shines before then. Say that all the time, but I mean it could. It won't, but it could. Like bobbing in my fucking chair like a maniac, like trying to just keep myself up. I'm almost there. I hope Eevee's almost there too, but I don't think Bill wants to give me a shiny Eevee. I think Bill has well established that he doesn't have a shiny Eevee for me today. But I'll keep asking him. I'll ask him about 74 more times tonight before I, you know, come back and ask him 1,000 more times tomorrow. Oh. It's a pretty, somewhat interesting number on the next counter. 5, 4, 3, 2. Just counting down, except we don't get to 1. The reason I actually did hit 4, 3, 2, 1, I guess, the day before yesterday. Which is interesting. I'm not sure if knowing me, I probably said something about it when it came up, unless I was just too zoned out. Excuse me. Jesus. Tragic ass yawn. $60 left of the stream. Wow. Oh wow, that is not right. There we go. The yawns are only getting worse. It's not even that late. I don't know why I'm yawning so bad. Alright, after this encounter will be 50 away. 50 left, the final 50 of the stream. 54, 54. Hmm. I mean, the good thing is that if, again, like I said, if I kept at the same pace, 3 days from now, I'd get to odds. I'd get to a little bit above odds, actually, if, you know, I even need to do that many encounters before the EV pops up. So we're not too far away from theoretically getting it. Statistically, you know, it could happen at any point. It could take 20,000 encounters and not, you know, 8,500 or so. Could happen literally next encounter. If the game generated the right number, it literally could happen right now, but is it going to? It's 8,191 out of 8,192 that it will not happen. And there we go. Seem pretty good at hitting that chance. Almost there. Getting close to the end. Not of the hunt, just of the show, or maybe of the hunt, you know, you never know, but I think I've said that so many times. I think I'm actually like a fucking broken record at times, dude. I don't have much else to talk about, I'm sorry. Just trying to fill the silence where I can. There were 2 EVs toward the very beginning of this hunt that, like, before I even saw them, I reset on them because my finger was just too close to the reset button. You know, kind of pre-firing the reset, and, like, I accidentally tapped them a couple times. There was, like, 2 EVs where, like, I accidentally reset on before, like, literally, like, probably a couple frames before they popped up on screen. I think about those EVs sometimes, because what if one of those was shiny? I would never know. The likelihood that they were is, you know, unlikely since they were so early in the hunt. So I'm doubtful, but there is always the chance that I really did reset on a shiny Eevee and I literally would never know. Don't really like to think about that though. Maybe I can find that stream and see if they did pop up on screen for literally a frame before I reset or no. Here we are, less than 25 away before we get to 5,500. Ugh. Here we go, 20 left. Sure likes to give me a lot of female EVs. Not a lot of shiny ones though. Theoretically, we will see about 1,000 female EVs before a shiny one pops up. I mean, sure as hell felt like I've seen 1,000 female EVs. I doubt I have, but I've definitely seen a lot of them. That would have been cool to keep count of how many female EVs, but I would have needed a whole separate counter for that, and that would have been too much work. I'm not gonna worry about that. If somebody would like to go through every single stream, rewatch all of them, all probably over 24 hours, maybe around 24 hours, somewhere around 24 hours of content, and count every single female EV. Pay you like $100 or something. I don't know. I got that much money. Don't do that. Nobody do that. I'm not paying anybody. And also, that's just such a big waste of time. That would probably take like weeks of actual work to do for nothing. Clearly, Bayleaf did not increase my luck any more than having the Golbat out. Alright, here are the final 10 EVs of the stream. Let's see if we get it toward the tail end. That was 2 females in a row. It's pretty cool. Three in a row. At least 2. It might have been 3 in a row. Oh, not that. Alright, last 5 EVs. We're gonna get one right at the end. Probably not. It's always worth a shot, though. You never know. Could happen. Alright, final 3 now. This is the second to last one. And here is the last EV for 5,500 EVs seen. I'm gonna open my summary. I'm not gonna look. I'm gonna spin around in my chair. Is it shiny? Nope. Okay. Well, we've done 5,500 encounters now. Any of you still isn't showing up, which, you know, unfortunately enough is kind of expected, but we're getting closer. Hopefully this won't take more than another few days. Hopefully if it goes over odds, it won't be, you know, that over odds. God willing, you know, this doesn't go past April 12th, which is when my spring break ends. And, yeah, that's really all I have to say for this little ending segment. Hopefully it shows up tomorrow. Hopefully I'll be able to do another 1,000 counters tomorrow. I don't really have many plans tomorrow, but, you know, things might come up and things might change in that regard. We'll see. But, yeah. Here's to another day of shiny hunting EVs, unfortunately, but again, I feel like, you know, still not even at coin flip in terms of statistically having seen the EV yet. So we're close. We're pretty close to that, but not quite there. We're like a little worse than, like literally ever so slightly worse than a coin flip at this point. None of the words I'm saying are making sense. I'm just gonna stop talking. I'm gonna hop off. Have a good night. To anybody watching this, which is probably nobody. I'll see you later.